Mystery, history, cryptid creatures, and paranormal activities. This is the Creeps and Crawls Mystery Hour podcast, and I'm your host, Creeps. Now, I have done my fair share of cryptid creatures, but this one is less of a creature, more of God of the underworld, and his main thing is that he decides whether or not your heart is light enough to make it into the underworld. He is truly amazing. Now, in the days of ancient Egypt, Anubis was not only the god of the underworld, he was also the deity of cemeteries and embalming, as well as the protector of graves. And with great respect, the Egyptians used his likeness to help with their elaborate ceremonies and mummification process, so the dead could pass smoothly into their afterlife. Anubis may have played the most important role in this journey. He is depicted almost primarily as a man, with the head of a black or dark brown jackal, and the black represented the fertile soil of the Nile that was needed to grow yearly crops. So, they believed Anubis symbolized good fortune and rebirth, as the color black did, and jackals are often seen representing death, because they lurk around cemeteries and eat decomposing flesh, therefore making Anubis a patron deity of jackals. And with this, they hoped Anubis would protect the bodies from being devoured by his likeness. In addition, the Book of the Dead was recorded that Anubis and his other job was to stand in the Hall of Two Truths and to weigh the hearts of people seeking judgment. The human's heart would be weighed on a scale against Mot's feather of truth. If the heart weighed more than the feather, the person's identity would cease to exist, and the soul would be destroyed and eaten by Ammit, another Egyptian deity. But if the heart weighed the same as the feather, the deceased would pass through and live eternity in the afterlife. And since the Egyptians believed in the concept of Mot, which, by the way, meant order, peace, balance, and death, it was regarded as importantly as life. Therefore, Anubis was a major part in that transaction from life to death, to back to life again. Anubis was not only there to guide spirits of the afterlife into the afterlife, but from the looks of it, into rebirth itself. The Egyptians believed heavily in rebirth and life after death, even going as far as to say that their pharaohs were reborn deities, such as Isis and Ra, especially since Cleopatra herself believed that she was the reincarnation of Isis herself. And it was heavily believed that they would be reborn into power again. And if your heart was so pure as to be lighter than the feather of truth, it was believed you were going to be reborn. The Egyptians even had a special medallion, a scarab with wings, to help the life and to help lift the heart when put on the scale, that they would place on the chest of very important dead people after mummification and wrapping to assist them into getting into the afterlife. It was also believed that the dead needed some things to come with them to use in the afterlife, so they would leave everything they needed to thrive in the gravesite, and Anubis was in charge of that part too. So, he was so interesting, and if you think so too, I'd love to see your comments in the comment section down below. What other gods and creatures would you like to talk about? You can also comment that too. And as always, please stay creepy, my friends, and I do apologize for all the stuttering and stuff today. Having a weird breath day, if that makes sense. I have asthma, and I already had recorded this episode prior, but as I said a couple of episodes ago, my phone decided to factory reset, and I've just been having so much trouble re-recording and editing these, so I'm just gonna leave in the weird little nuances. And with that, again, please stay creepy, my friends.